Hey everybody, I went to go see Iron Lung and I figured I'd talk about it. Well, rather, I kind of want to talk about it. So I went to go see Iron Lung with a bunch of friends of mine, and we were put in a pretty small theater, which, makes sense. It's an indie film. And there were a lot of people there, actually. Like, believe it or not, my theater was packed. I don't know what other people's experiences were, but it was packed, which is kind of interesting, to say the least. So I ended up going because I wanted to support indie cinema first and foremost. It's not like I don't like Markiplier. I appreciate and respect Markiplier for all the work that he's done in the YouTube space and who he is as a person. But I figured that instead of letting those feelings for Markiplier get in front of me while I was going to go see the movie, I was going to go ahead and judge it rather on its individual merits as a film itself. I think that's more than fair, and I think out of respect for Markiplier, I think he would more or less respect that viewpoint rather than people going to see it just because it's him. But with that being said, I actually really liked the film. It was engaging in a way that I didn't think it was, especially because I'm not really familiar with the source material, so I thought a little bit of it would be lost on me. But in all honesty, it wasn't, and I would encourage everybody to go see it because it was, like I said, actually really good. I would also say, despite critical reviews, the movie is very good. I think that the critics were maybe a little either unknowing of what they were getting into with the film or overly harsh for no reason. But then again, like, I don't have any faith in critic reviews on anything anymore. So, take their word for a grain of salt. I would much rather you go with the audience score for it sitting at a cool, fairly high across the board. I also thought it was really funny. I woke up today and, I was going to sit down and record this. I see Markiplier had released a video about, uh, it's like entitled An Emergency Meeting or something like that. And he was talking about how he wanted to make his film box office #1 for a week. And it was funny because he released it literally the second previews ended in my, in my film as I was starting to watch it. I didn't even know. It was just a funny little anecdote. But yes, I will wholeheartedly and full-chestedly recommend this film, especially if you like indie cinema. And I think it's important to support indie cinema no matter who does the writing, directing, or acting. Yeah, that's another good point is the acting was very good, and I was able to separate Markiplier from Steven in the film fairly effectively. I would say though, if you're a big fan of him and you've been watching him for a while, you'll probably see a lot of Markiplierisms in his acting, which, moving forward, if he ever acts in anything else, I would like to see his acting muscles stretch and grow as his career grows. I mean, then again, I'm not really a, film critic, but that's just my observations. But anyway, I thought it was a great film, and yes, I actually will urge you to go see it, not only because it's Markiplier, but because I very strongly believe that we should be supporting indie cinema and showing, big cinema studios and other people in the cinema industry that we don't want to see their schlock anymore, and that indie cinema itself is more what we'd be wanting to look for in our films, things that are unique stories, unique perspectives, unique people. But yeah, anyway, have a great one.